Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotworld.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading, and I'm going to be using the Hanson-Roberts Tarot for this reading. And I've got two little foster kittens that are going to be joining me for this reading, and they might kind of pop in throughout the reading, or not, I'm not sure. I've been going crazy all day, so they might be tired. Okay, so I'm going to start with drawing 3 cards. And the first card is going to represent Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And my intention here is just to get kind of a snapshot or an overview of the week ahead and some of the challenges, some of the opportunities that are going to be coming up for us. And I just want to show you these kittens because they're so cute. There's the gray tabby. And there's the brown tabby. They're both feral kittens, so they're not really used to people. So I'm trying to get them comfortable with being held and having pets and stuff like that. So the gray one is pretty tame. He's starting to purr when I pet him, but the brown one is still really nervous. So, okay. First card represents Monday and Tuesday. And this is the 4 of Rods, or 4 of Wands in a Rider-Waite deck. And the 4 of, I always see this card as being like a, representing kind of like the hearth and home. And it's a very stable card, and it's a comfortable card. It's positive, it's comfortable, it's stable, but it's not particularly exciting. I really like this card because to me this card kind of represents almost that feeling that you get when you have your evening all planned out and you're just going to be sitting home watching a movie and cuddling with your cat, or having some tea and reading or something like that. That's sort of like, you know, spending time inside at home, being comfortable, you know, nothing really exciting or out of the ordinary is happening. So that's kind of what the feeling I get with this card. But what it means for us for this week, I feel like this card is about celebrating the relationships that we have. So that might be your family, your friends, but particularly whatever community you find yourself in, whether that's like the community in where you live, whether it's like an online community that you're a part of, whatever your sense of community is. This is about really showing your appreciation for those connections that you have with people and just really enjoying those connections. I might come back to this one, but I want to move on to the next one. So this card is for the middle of the week, so Wednesday, Thursday. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles is, again, there's this feeling I get with this card. It's that feeling where you're working, you're doing work and you're working hard, but you're working at something that has meaning for you. Therefore, it doesn't really feel like drudgery. It feels like you're doing good work. You know, it feels like you're being useful, that you're doing something that's important to you. It's that feeling of knowing that you're in the right place at the right time, using your skills. There's nothing worse than having a job where you feel like you're not really using any of your skills. So this is kind of the opposite of that. So what I feel like it means for us this week, I feel like it could mean a couple things. Number one, if you feel like your work is drudgery, or if you feel like you're wanting to be enthusiastic about a project or something that you're working towards, but you just can't seem to, know that it might be lacking in meaning. So if you can find meaning in what you're doing, that's going to increase your enthusiasm and your energy for that particular thing. The other thing that I get with this card is that you are going to be called on this week to really use the skills that you have and to really tap into your innate skills, so those things that you're just good at naturally, but also the things that you've developed over your lifetime, the things that you've had to work at. And I think my kittens are knocking all the books off the bookshelf. I can just hear them doing something behind me. So yeah, so I feel like this is the week where you're really going to want to tap into and tune into some of those skills. You're going to be called to not only use those skills, but to build upon those skills. And at the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, here we have 5 of Cups. It's interesting, we've got a 3, 4, and a 5. They're just not in order. So here we have the 5 of Cups. Now the 5 of Cups, to me, this is all about focusing on the negative and ignoring the positive. So if you look at this card, this guy is looking at the spilled cups and he looks unhappy. And there's these 2 cups that are upright behind him. But he has his back turned to those things. And I think that this is just really typical of what we do when there is some kind of disaster or if something goes wrong. We tend to hone in and focus on what's going wrong, and we don't pay attention to what is going right. And I think that there's a really logical explanation for this. I think if something's going well, it doesn't necessarily need your attention, right? I think we're just kind of hardwired to focus on what's going wrong so that we can fix it. And then when something's running smoothly, then, you know, that's great, but we don't have to think about it. It's like your car. You don't really think about your car until something goes wrong, unless you're really into cars, but most people kind of don't. And so yeah, I don't think that this means you're a negative person because you focus on the negative things. That being said, there's a difference between noticing when something isn't going wrong and wanting to focus on that so that you can fix it or change it, and just being fixated on the negative to the point where you actually see negativity where it doesn't exist, or you create negative things out of thin air. So there's a difference between those 2 things. So I feel like what this card means for us this week is, especially for the weekend, I feel like this card is challenging you to, notice what isn't working for you in your life and see how quickly you can transition from feeling disappointed or stressed out or upset about that and transition to feeling empowered. So, you know, how fast, or not necessarily how fast, but, you know, how quickly can you pinpoint what changes you need to make and what actions you need to take in order to kind of move out of that place of feeling disappointed. Because when I look at this card, I get this really strong feeling of that feeling of like disappointment, being let down, and just kind of dwelling on what's not working. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to see if I can tie these cards together. I'm just going to look and see if there's anything that's jumping out at me. I feel like there's a theme this week, and I feel like in a lot of ways it's in this first card, and it's this theme of community and connections and making connections with people, fostering connections, and really appreciating those connections. And I feel like in order for us to have those strong connections, we need to do some inner work. For one thing, we need to get in touch with what our skills are. We have to find meaning in the work that we do. And then we have to also be adept at not just recognizing when there's an issue or a problem or something didn't work out, but also being able to find solutions and being able to come out of this place of you know, oh, things aren't working out, and taking action. And I feel like these 2 cards together in a lot of ways are kind of one of the keys to being in, you know, finding great relationships and having great friendships and feeling that sense of community. Okay, so that has been your weekly tarot card reading. My name is Kate. I am from dailytarotgirl.com, and you can check out my website for free tarot spreads, tarot tutorial videos, tarot blog, and more. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.